So I'm gonna show you now how to spread edible lace mix on an edible lace mat. It normally comes in containers like this. There are different brands that you can purchase. Some of them come already made, like the one we have here, which is kind of like a thick royal icing-like paste or batter. Some of them come with a little powder and then a little liquid that all you have to do is mix it together. So whenever you buy it, just look at the instructions. It comes in different colors, different flavors, or if you just purchase the white one, you can color it yourself. So if you were to color it, this is when you would add the color, when you have the mix. So you would add gel color, or you can add some luster dust or whatever you like. Or you can just leave it white and then color it later, just paint it after it's dried. So pretty much all you have to do is grab a little bit on your offset spatula and spread it all the way until the mold is full. So try to work quickly, but at the same time be careful, because you do want to make sure that all of the little cavities in the mold are full, because otherwise you're going to have a lot of air bubbles and it's just going to be very delicate. Because the more air you have, the more easy it's gonna break. So scrape it really good. And as you can see, I'm trying to do everything kind of in one direction, because I feel like if I pull it to the other side, I might just take it apart. So I just try to do one motion. If I'm doing it to the right, I'll do it to the right, and I'll repeat the same motion until you see that everything is filled with your batter. Let's add a little bit more. So as I'm spreading this, I am applying pressure. It's not just like smoothing something out. No, you have to apply pressure, because otherwise you're gonna end up with air bubbles, and we don't want that. So I see I have a little bubble there. So I just add a little extra. So now let's make sure that we don't have a lot of extra, because once it dries and we take off the lace from the mold, you're gonna be able to see all the little parts where you should have scraped it. Well, this little part needs a little scraping. There we go. All right, so now you can, at this point, you can either put it in the oven, I would say 275 degrees Fahrenheit, and you can start with 7 minutes and then check it and see if it's sticky. If it's still a little bit sticky, you can add 2 more minutes and see how it goes from there, because every oven is different. Or you can just let it dry overnight and then remove it the next day. So this is what the lace is gonna look like after drying overnight, or baking it about 10 minutes, kind of about 275 degrees Fahrenheit. It's nice and dry, it doesn't stick to your fingers, and it just kind of like starts to pop out of the mold by itself. Sometimes you can always test it by peeling off a little part of it and obviously seeing if it's dry enough. So I'm gonna kind of take off a little corner and gently start pulling. There we go. So you do want to keep it as little movement as possible. You don't want to like pull the whole thing, because it could just rip off. You have to be very gentle. And try to put your hand in between this lace and this lace so it doesn't stick. It shouldn't, but just to prevent it from sticking. There we go. So you can see it looks nice, it looks like fabric. There it is. It's a very delicate piece of decoration. And the good thing about this is that you can paint it or you can dust it with whatever you like. Maybe some gold dust or pearl dust. So for this particular side, which is going to be the top tier, I'm going to use the bigger piece just because I want to end up having like lace maybe all over the tier. So I'm going to start placing it kind of like from the center up, and then I'm going to add some of the little pieces that I have already kind of to continue with the lace. So I will right now add a little bit of piping gel, and I'm going to try to add it on the borders. You don't have to stick it to the entire piece of lace, only to some points that are kind of where it's gonna hold the whole the piece of lace. So I'm putting it around the border. And then I'm gonna put it in the center as well, a little bit. Okay. So I'm gonna help myself with my stick and then start applying it from the bottom to the top. Gently pressing from the bottom to the top. There we are.